Okay, do you realize what's going on in the world nowadays? The whole world is changing. Traditional jobs are going away. Look at the biggest retailers in the world are closing stores every day now. Shopping malls are even closing. But it doesn't matter because there's new ways of making money that's opening up. And it's new independent ways, making more money as an independent entrepreneur, having your own little store. And it's different nowadays. Actually, what happens now in our country is the millionaires are coming from people who start their own business. And now it's easier than ever before. You realize there's more people, like there's 2 million people on Amazon that are independent entrepreneurs that are selling stuff on internet. You know, or Etsy. Man, there's almost 2 million people there who start their own store right on Etsy. You know, it only costs 20 cents to start a store. And I'll show you all that. I'll show you how to decide what is the best store for you, where to find products for your store, how to develop products for your store, how to get marketing help for free, how to get even free advertising money, over $10,000 a month in free advertising money for your store. I even show you 28 people who tell you step by step how they did it. And in 6 months, they were able to quit their job and start a whole new life, actually from home, making money, on the internet. Yeah, and that's what's neat about our country today. All the new entrepreneurs are coming from the internet, and it costs nothing to do. You don't need the expertise. You don't need the background. You don't need any of that stuff. You just have to know where to go. And if you Google where to go, man, you're going to get people charging tens of thousands of dollars. I'll show you where to get all that for free. And that's why I have a video ebook on that. It's step-by-step instructions for the whole thing. So you just sit down and start learning, and man, within a few days, you'll be up and running with goods and products and then even customers, because the platforms, the places where you put your stores that cost as little as 20 cents to do it, they do all the problems for you. They do the accounting, they do the collecting the money and the insurance, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about anymore. And if you do worry about anything, I'll show you how to get the free help to do it. And I got these video instructions. They're tutorials, video tutorials, all on leskotutor.com. It shows you everything you know or want to know. Okay, you want to start an internet business or sell something online? What are you going to sell, huh? Well, that's a question. So if you don't have something really in mind, say maybe you love embroidery or something and you want to sell that, or you write books and you want to sell. So if you already know, but if you don't and you just know there's a lot of people making money, on the internet, you just have to be careful on what you decide. Again, because if you go to Google and said, looking for stuff to sell on the internet, man, they're just people who are going to, just get money from you, and so really, I think no one can really tell you what will work for you to sell on the internet. You have to figure that out yourself. And really, I think if anyone tells you, hey, do this, you're going to make a lot of money, the only reason they're saying that because they're going to charge you money to do something, so they're making money off of it, not you, and you haven't proved that yet that you can make money on it. So stay away from those kind of deals. And it's really the whole thing, I think it's just a trial and error method. Nobody really knows. And that's why the key to all this success is, I think there's 2 basic things. One is don't spend money doing anything. See, on the internet, you don't. There's always other ways to test ideas and whatever without spending money, and so that's why I use all of that first, because if you start spending money, man, then you'll be out of business before you figure out what really going to sell. And then the other thing I think about choosing the right product or service or whatever it is that you want to sell on the internet is really looking inside yourself. There's so much advice and people bombarding you, do this, and they don't really know. Look at the smartest people in the world screwed up Wall Street, and actually I've been looking at data recently now that show that almost 65 to 70% of all the scientific research that is published in the biggest scientific journals turns out to be wrong. So they're wrong. Like coffee's good for you, coffee's not good for you. Like New England Journal of Medicine says this and whatever. 2/3 of that turns out to be wrong within a couple of years. So nobody really knows. We're all guessing. And this is your life. So that's why it's so important for you to look inside, because anything you decide to do is going to be work. That's the name of the game. Everything. It's work, and it's a pain in the butt. You know, you don't have some magic idea and you become a millionaire next Thursday. Well, if that happens, I'm gonna put you in my next infomercial because they're the ones on TV. Say, look at this! I just went in my garage and make $1 zillion in 2 weeks or something like that. That's not gonna happen to you and me. You know. So forget about that. So what I think you want to do is, number one, rely on your heart more. Because if you decide what to do more on your heart, you're going to make that happen better. It has a better chance of happening than someone else telling you, convincing you, do this, you're going to make a lot of money. 9 times out of 10, you won't. You know, actually, I've written over 100 books in my life, and only 10 have made any money. So I'm wrong 90% of the time. Yeah, I learned that the hard. And this is what I do for a living, and think about it 24 hours a day, and I'm still wrong. So that's why the key to survival is not spending money until you figure out what's right. Because it's like learning to walk. You got to fall down a bunch of times before you learn to do it. If someone says, "Oh, you just put one foot in another and go across the room," nah. Life isn't that way at all. So anything new you're going to do is going to happen like that. You're going to fall down a bunch of times, and that's why don't get tied in with somebody else's idea or whatever, and the promises, they show you testimonials and all that. No, start looking at yourself. You want to make a contribution to the world or something, then try to find out what you really want to do. Look down inside what your passions are, what your interests are, and try to figure out how that will fit into what the market may handle. And then you test, how can I make this acceptable to the market? And you trial and error that whenever. And if you're looking for products, so maybe you love camping gear or something like that. You love outdoors. So maybe you can find products in outdoor and camping to do. And you could find products to sell on your website. There's a couple ways of doing this. Really, you could go to like Alibaba. That's a big Chinese distributorship. All the manufacturers all over the world put their goods in there, and you could find camping socks for like 20 cents or something, and use them to sell on the internet or whatever. Or you go to other people that are manufacturing. Say, you like this Coleman lamps, or you like this, or whatever, and I want to sell those because I believe in that stuff, or whatever. That you contact those manufacturers. Go on the internet, and find the products you like and contact those companies. Say, hey, I want to start up a website and sell those products. Another way is what they call on the internet affiliate programs. These are things like you could sell my products. I'm in an affiliate network called Share or Sale and a few others. And so people come to there and look, and they get like 40% of the money. They sell one of my products, they get 40% of the money. So you can do that with other people. You like camping gear, so you find Share or Sale or these other affiliate networks. If you Google like top affiliate networks and find the biggest ones around, to sell stuff, you don't have to join. To put stuff on, you usually have to join, or it's very little or whatever, to find people. And that's how to sell. If you have a product, you could go on affiliate networks, and then they sell it and get a commission. And what's so neat about affiliate networks is they take care of all the financing and the credit cards and figure it all out, where the order came from, and so you don't have to worry about anything. And that makes it good for people selling your stuff, but it makes it good for you too if you want to sell other people's stuff. So that's the way. Another kind of products I think that are interesting to sell nowadays is packaged information. I mean, like ebooks. Ebooks are so easy. You could sell your own ebooks. It costs nothing to do an ebook. You could have a Kindle ebook, just on your laptop, and get it made Kindle and get a cover designed on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You could get an artist there for $5 to do a great cover for you, and you load it into Kindle. Then you start your website and start marketing them. If you do that, or there's other ways. If you want to go courses, you could do a course on how to make good pasta or something and sell those courses. There's platforms already that you could put them on that create markets for you. I mean, things like Udemy, or Skillshare, or Curious.com. These are platforms where you put on the courses for free. They sell them, and you share in the wealth. It's like having a publisher. So that's another way. And then you could sell that yourself on your website too, and probably make more of it. Or your expertise. I mean, if you're an expert, like, oh, I know how to fix, broken windows or something. I don't know, whatever the hell your expertise you think it is, or help people counseling or whatever. There's services and places you could do that too, like Upwork, Guru, Freelance, and Fiverr, to sell your services like that. And then you could have a website that you sell by the hour, or whatever it is. So that's why I think the basic two things to remember is don't spend money, because you'll run out of money before you figure it out, unless you're a fat cat and it doesn't matter and you want to save some time or energy yourself. And sure, the people out there spend your money, and you'll learn that way. Or you do trial and error by free stuff. It doesn't take money. And then you do like the sources I mentioned, and see what kind of reaction you could get. You could do a YouTube video and put it on there and see, hey, what are people reacting? Anybody reacting to this? Try another one. Or what? Anybody reacting? You think you know what sells, and I think I know, oh, people do that. The market will tell you otherwise. And until you get out in the market, you'll never know for sure. And that's why it's important not to spend money. Okay, how do you advertise your website without any money? Okay, that's a key. I mean, I made bunches of money. I mean, the most money I made was by getting advertising for free in my life. I mean, I used to go around the TV stations and say, how much does it cost to put a commercial on there? And they give me a price, and then I go and do a commercial for, I think the first commercial was $50,000, $100,000 or whatever. I put on there, I asked them how much it was, the cost to put a commercial. They tell me the price, I write them a check, and I lose money. Nothing. And that was after I knew my stuff would sell, because I would go on talk shows and would sell. Everybody, my phones were ringing off the hook and everything. So I knew there was a market. I'd go home shopping, and everybody, I blew out the sales there. But, in buying advertising, man, I didn't know that at all. And until I figured out, see, advertising, when people are selling you advertising, they think they know what's worth. Well, it may be worth that to them. If there's some big fat cat, General Motors wants to buy that advertising space and they're willing to pay $10,000 for it, but you don't know if that $10,000 is worth it to you. Are you going to get $10,000 worth of sales? Are you going to get $50,000 worth of sales? That's why when I started doing it that way, I said, this is dumb. I'm going to be out of business before I figure this out. And I can't. So that's why these people that are making money off of you try to convince you that you're going to make $1 million out of just giving me money to advertise your product, and people are going to love it and whatever, because they want your money. See, what I do now is say, okay, if that's true, I'll give you half the money. That's why people, advertising agencies or people selling advertising, they'll say, what's your budget? That means they could spend anything you got. But you don't know what my budget is. I say my budget is a couple $1 million, because I will. If you're giving me $5 million in business, I'll give you $1 million, $2 million, right? But I have to be guaranteed that. So the way I do it even online now, the way I do it with the TVs is, here's my commercial. If no one else runs a commercial on your TV station, use my commercial, I'll give you half the money. Now, I was able to document it. I give them a special 800 number. They knew they could verify it and everything like that, so you make them feel secure. And now it's the same on the internet, the same way. If people say, yeah, this is worth, $10 per 100 eyeballs or something like that. But you don't know if that's worth it to you. You could spend $1 million and still not have any sales. But you had a lot of eyeballs. Everybody likes eyeballs and likes and everything. But you can't pay your mortgage with likes and thumbs up. you got to pay the mortgage guy, the bank and everything. So that's why, to me, the best way is to share. Okay, if I get a sale, you get a percent of that sale. And to me, the rule of thumb is almost 50%. I mean, that's what I used to do with books, and that's me. Every products are different. But because the bookstore would take half the sale, but they would get the customer, so I'd give them half the sale. So the same way here, you go on, again, it's affiliate marketing is what it's called, and they have it where cost per sale, CPA or CP action, cost per action, CPA, CPS is cost per sale, I guess. So all this jargon, don't be feared about it. If you Google, top 10, affiliate programs, you'll see the organizations that are set up, you know, to take your product, and then you design little ads. And if you need help in designing that, you could get that kind of help very cheap by going to something like Fiverr, FIVERR.com, and you know, for ads, you know, for $5-10, they'll do the ads for you, and you could get that in. And you just give them, if you got a sale, you give them a portion of the sale. So you're getting $100, you give them $40, $50, whatever it is. You know, you think it's right. You know. And that's the way to sell, because otherwise, if you're, gosh, you're just spending money, you don't know what works. I don't know what works. The best experts in the world won't know what works for you. You got to figure it out. You know. Another way, then what you look for, like you're selling maybe camping gear or something, you look for blogs or websites that are already doing that. They have that audience. They're always looking for products, or most of them. And it may take you 100 phone calls or 100 emails, and you may only get 1 or 2, but that's the way the world works. You know, that you have to make 100 phone calls in order to get one, maybe good one, and that's why, but it turns out to be good, then it's good forever, and whatever. So you search, you know, Google in camping gear, whatever your thing is, and you see, I think I did one for camping gear here. You see all the items that are listed, you know, that I have for just camping gear. I mean, there'll be thousands and thousands of websites that cover that. So you start down the list. That's the only way to get anything. And it's important. You know, numbers are important. And you don't know what works. The experts don't know what works. So in other words, that's how to get advertising for free. Okay, how about getting $10,000 a month just to spend on advertising? Well, you can do that if you're a nonprofit, because a nonprofit, you know, Google gives $10,000 worth of free advertising to nonprofits. So that's why if you're a nonprofit or even a for-profit, I'll show you how to take advantage of that if you're a for-profit. But if they, you know, a nonprofit could just learn. I mean, I have an interview of this nonprofit organization, you know, who hired an intern, you know, signed up for that program, and that intern figured it out, and they raised a couple $100,000, you know, by doing that, you know, just out of nothing, because they got that free advertising. But say you're a nonprofit and you want to know that, or you're starting an internet business and you want to know how to social advertise, you know, advertise on the internet or whatever. Well, man, here's how to learn. Don't take courses that are going to charge you thousands of dollars, you know, on how to market on the internet, or subscribe to people, or video, however they're charging all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. Here's what to do. Find a nonprofit organization, your church, your community group, you know, local, what do you call it? You know, a homeless shelter, anything like that. Approach them and say, hey, let me give you $10,000 of free advertising, and I'll figure out how to sell it, how to raise money for you. So that's why you sign them up for the $10,000, but you run the campaign. Now you have $10,000 a month to learn how to use that. And maybe you can make a deal with the nonprofit that you'll split half the money or something like that, that you get extra for them, you know, and so you have a motivation to make more money. So just think, if you're investing $10,000 and you're getting $20,000 back, so if you're bringing in $20,000 back, so maybe you get 20% of that, that's $2,000, but you're learning how to do it with real money. Not going to some huckster who's training you that worked for, you know, bubble gum or whatever the hell they were selling, whatever time it was, and they just sound smart. You know, the reality is getting in the game. That's the only way you learn. So you can't learn to play football sitting in the classroom, you know, so you can't learn to, you know, to do advertising taking a course on it. You get there and get real money like this and start learning. Now, where else can you get real money to start learning real stuff? To do it, man, there's just nowhere in the world. I mean, you're going to spend $50,000 to get an MBA or something like that. Here's free $100,000 a year or $120,000 a year that you could spend learning real time. That's like getting money and invest in the stock market with somebody else's money, right? So that's what you're doing. You're getting money to invest in, you know, internet advertising with somebody else's money. Wow, but you're learning. Now you know, you've come up the learning curve so far, so on your product, man, you really know, you know. And you could be making a few bucks to support yourself by generating this money for the other nonprofit. Man, I think that's one of the best deals in the country right now. Okay, remember, you don't have to pay for internet marketing consultants. Right, I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of people out there trying to make money in internet marketing, and that's for rich folks. If you're trying to get through the world today and you want to use the internet, man, you could learn it yourself and get all the expertise you need for free. Sure, there's not magic, but the experts you're going to hire aren't going to be magic anymore either. Now, you're going to hire people and do whatever, and they'll sound great and whatever because they spend a career making themselves sound great and to make you think that they're the greatest thing in the world, and you put it together, and 9 out of 10 times it's not going to do much for you. Maybe it'll just be a piece of the puzzle and keep learning, to put the puzzle together. It'll take you a while. It takes time, effort, and practice. That's what it's about. It's all about practicing. But if you really want help, I'll show you what free experts. These are the places I use. There's one thing that I'm on too called officehours.io. And you could get people for free, like 10 minutes. Like people call me up and I learn. People ask me, where do I get free information on that or marketing tips and things like that? And I give it them for free for 10 minutes because I'm learning. I got to know what the questions are out there so I can help people. If I don't know what they're after, then I don't know what to package and what to give them. So I do it, and I find in 10 minutes I could give them the best. Like when, and I realized that I've written 100 books, and what I used to do is write a book for a year and then go out and sell it, around the country on talk shows and things like that. And I used to practice for a month what I was going to say. So I would boil down that year of research down into 10 minutes because that's how long I get on an interview. And you got the best out of me in 10 minutes. And the same with this. Office Hours IO, is in 10 minutes you get a lot. And here they put marketing experts. If you don't go look under the category for marketing experts, I mean, there's dozens of people there. I'm one of them, but that you can get for free. So why pay for free? Well, here's another thing: social media experts. So many people. See, what happens? I think you go and use Google because you don't know something, and you get Google, and then all you'll see in Google when you put in, marketing help or expertise or something like that, internet marketing, are people selling you something. Because don't forget, in Google, for you to see them, they have to pay money, either in advertising, by buying the space, or spending a lot of money trying to figure out how to get the first page when you do it. So that means there are people who want money from you. So that's why when you put in social media experts or something like that, you're going to see all the people that are going to charge you money, or want to charge you money, or have a trick. Well, hey, this is it's sort of the help, but if you want real help, I charge $100 an hour or whatever. And see, so you think that that's the only option. That's the problem with Google. It doesn't show you all your options. It shows you all the options that you pay money for. It doesn't show you the free options. So if you go into like officehours.io, put in social media experts, you'll see the free stuff there. And people free. You just sign up for their next available, and they're usually available. Nobody uses this thing. I don't know if they're too lazy or don't know about it, or I guess people like to throw money around. Keep that economy going. That's what George Bush used to say. Get out there and spend. But for you to survive, particularly in a business, it's how much you don't spend, not how much you do spend. Because see, we can't figure it out. You don't know how social media works, and neither do people running social, and advising you. All they know that selling social media works. They don't know how social media works for money, but they know. I mean, to me, that's my theory: is the only people making money out of social media are the people selling you how to use social media. Here's another neat free way is meetups. You go to meetups.com, and they're all over the country. So you could put in internet marketing, and you'll see groups like here for Washington. There's a dozen or so groups within 25 miles. I could go and meet on Wednesday night here, Tuesday night there, of other people who have gone up this learning curve, and they're there to share their expertise for free. That's what it's about. It's all about sharing with something to somebody else, because you may need that help before. That's what communities are all about, and that's why capitalism isn't. Capitalism is about me getting money from you. But it's more fun to share, but I really have to do both, is really what it's all about. So that's why that's another way. So that's meetups.com. And here's a fellow who did an interview of me. and I have a link to his interview he did with me, that he helps people for free. He's with a big organization that does social media marketing, all kind of marketing, and he helps new people become entrepreneurs on the internet for free. So watch this video that I have with him interviewing me, but listen to him, not me, because he's really a believer. He could help anybody, show you how to start it, how to find products, how to market it, everything, cradle to grave. I mean, it just takes effort. That's the whole thing. And we put roadblocks in our way, thinking, oh, if I only had this kind of money, or if I only had that, which, sure, if someone gave you $100,000, tell you the truth, that you would love it. You'd blow $100,000 and you still wouldn't know how to make money, because you would have blown it. It probably cost you more than that to figure out a model that really gets you to making money. And that's the key. How do you make money, not how you spend money? Anybody can make money. That's why the less money you have, the smarter you are, because you'll figure out a way to get sales or whatever without spending money. That's the way to become strong and to be on a solid footing or whatever with your business or whatever. Anybody could spend money. That's easy. And they go out of business. Okay, Caesar, I sent you a big report on all those sources that are going to help you get out of debt and solve that student loan problem, and even find extra money to pay your bills and expenses, as you're starting your business. Okay, let's get your report so we could go over this together. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the student debt thing. You're going to see a lot of things on the internet that people want to help you, okay? You don't need that, okay? I mean, look at the first thing right here. It says, private companies may contact you with offers to help you with your student loans for a fee. Remember, you never have to pay for help with your student loans. That's right here from the horse's mouth. This is a government agency who wrote all these laws telling you don't need them, okay? So that's an important thing to remember. Okay, now I put together some links and some of the stuff that explains all the process to go through. Now here, what happens if you default, it explains a lot of that. So the most important thing in dealing with any problem is knowing your options. So this is what this will do, is tell you, what's not only what's available, but what's possible and where you stand. Are you going to go to jail next Thursday, or what's going on? So what happens if you default? That explains it all there. Types of forgiveness. Now this is the most important thing, because there's so many things that you can be doing or should do that will eliminate a lot of this debt. Either 100%, like there's a lot of programs, if you do certain kind of work or jobs, that they cut your debt down or eliminate it or whatever. Then now this is the most important thing for you. There's payment plans, okay? So you could arrange a payment plans. And this is really by income. And it can be as low as like $5 a month is all you have to pay. So you have to go through the procedure, to see what income you have and all that, and what you're allowed to pay. And the most important thing about these payment plans, because they drag them out for 10, 20 years, and if you still have something left that you haven't paid at all because you've only been paying $5 a month, they forgive it. Man, now what a deal is that to get your student loan forgiven? Okay, so that's why it's so important, I feel, to learn about these options you have, because if you're going to call somebody on the internet or whatever, I mean, they just want money from you. That's all they're trying to do out there, and it's just going to cost you a bunch and you won't know your options. So here's all the details here to explain all your options. And also, I'm not sure if you have a plus loan or not. There's a little different ways of handling that, and actually you could refinance that, because a lot of plus loans don't have that payment policy, but you could refinance it into another kind of loan that then you can only pay like $5 a month or whatever it is, depending on how much you make. So that's some detail on that if you have one of those. And there's a video here that I have. The Department of Education explains all this in detail, and it's very clear and precise, probably better than me because I ramble on a lot. And if you feel screwed about anything, they have an ombudsman. Okay, the Department of Education has an ombudsman. This means a cop that if you feel screwed, with your student loan or not getting a square deal, these are the people that enforce the laws, And see, these are the people that wrote the laws, and they enforce them for free. So never go to lawyers and things like that until you check with the free stuff first. Because why hire somebody, a lawyer is going to charge you $200 an hour to learn the law for you, when you could find somebody who wrote the law and they enforce it for you for free and get your money back. And then here's another option I want you to be aware of is how to use your elected official. If all this screws up or whatever, one of the best things that are available in our country is your elected official. Particularly if you're not a fat cat, could hire lawyers like Donald Trump to sue everybody for you. Most of us don't live that way. So we need some leverage in this system because we don't understand the system. Who the hell does? But the elected officials run the bureaucracy. They run it in a way that they pay the bills for all the government agencies. So if the Department of Education or somebody dealing with the Department of Education isn't treating you right, or you don't understand, you don't feel treated, you could call your congressman, one of them, and 2 senators. They're all the federal people. I show you how to find them there. You just put in your zip code, you get the contact information, and call them. They have people in their office just waiting for you to call to see how they could help you. And I also have a video there that explains all this to you. Because see, what happens if you call them for help, and if they could help you, first of all, it's easy for them to help. It's easy for them to call the right office of the Department of Education because they're paying the education bills. When the Department of Education comes from money from Congress to get more money or whatever, see, they want to have all the congressmen happy, so they give little private telephone numbers for them to call and get their problem solved quickly. You and I have to walk in the front door and wait in line. See, the congressmen don't. So they could help you a lot. And see, if they solve your problem easily, which they can and many times, is that you'll vote for that son of a gun no matter what they do. So that's important to remember you have that leverage again. So that's for that. Now for your other bills and expenses, here's the first thing you should do. I showed you a listing of all the people in your area where you live in Texas that get grant money to solve your financial problems. So don't go to Google and look for counselors and financial things because they're going to get money out of you one way or another. They have to because they advertise in Google. These people don't. Because they get government money, they don't have advertising money, to help you. And another thing, they're not there to sell you something more. Most people like me or anybody else in business, they're always worried about, okay, I'm going to sell you this you want, now how could I sell you something more? Because you like me, right, or whatever. And that's the most. So these people don't. They have nothing more to sell you, whatever. I have videos there. You could see these counselors, how sharp they are and the knowledge they have. You want to watch those videos because I went out and interviewed those people to make sure you know that these are real people. This is not just pie in the sky and I'm selling you stuff that that will never work. No, these are real stuff. Okay. Also, if you have a mortgage, you should call this hotline I have in here too, because there are a lot of new programs now to get that mortgage reduced. So make sure it doesn't take much. Contact that hotline to make sure that you may be eligible for one of these programs, and boy, if you can get $200-300 on a lower mortgage and not costing you anything, that'd be something you want to do. Okay. Now here's something a lot of people don't know about. It's called the individual development account, and these are basically savings that the government gives you money to save. And it usually runs like you put in $1 to save and they'll put in $3, $4, up to $8, so I've seen sometimes. So they're giving you all that money to put in your savings account as long as you just put in $1. Wow. What a way to get bills and paid or whatever. If you get this money to pay, they're putting in your savings account for you. Now they all the banks there's a database there of where these usually they're nonprofit banks that are doing this. Or community banks, and where they are. I have a listing there for you in Texas. Contact the ones where you live in Houston area first, and then try anywhere, any of them. I mean, it's a numbers game, like getting a date or anything else. None of us know for sure what's going to work, and it's a matter of just asking and trying. Okay. Also, I noticed that you have there in Texas is a program that you pay your 4 highest months utility bills. Wow! I mean, I thought that was pretty neat. So, so that, I guess in Houston it would be the hottest 4 months, not the coldest 4 months, that they pay your utility bills. I have a link there. Check that out to see if you're eligible for that. Now, here's interesting. There's a link at your Harris County there of 55 emergency programs. I mean, keep this. If you don't have an emergency now or may sometime, you have a problem with something or other, look at that list. You see it has the names of the contact people. I mean, you have trouble paying your mortgage or utility bills or rent or daycare problems or any of these kinds of things. See, what happens to the government does is they get lots of money, they're giving it to local offices and local governments, but it's not managed by the governments. The government gives it to nonprofit organizations to use that money to help you with your problem. But these nonprofit organizations have no advertising money, so you never find them, you don't know about them or whatever. So here's the county that does some of that work for the county money. And here I have something, if you're a vet, I wasn't sure we talked about that or not, but the vets have a special county office just for vets, and they're very important because if you're looking for business money, mortgage money, or anything like that, these people who work there, I have a study, if you want the data, I'll show you, they're able to get 100% more money than anybody else who applies to the program because they just know how to work the system better. And these are people who will apply for money for you for free. They don't charge anything, and they're able to get twice as much money. I mean, it's amazing. So it's the government paying people to get more money for you from the government. That's what I mean. You don't even know the questions to ask. I mean, that's what I do. Now, here's some other programs, in your state. Your county offers $135,000 grant or interest loan only to fix up your home. So you own your home, you want to fix it up, look at that grant. That's interesting. And then you have another grant and loan you don't have to pay back, something for your septic system or water system, things like that. Now here's for the Texas and Houston area, there's something that you really should know, and really all over the country, is your local 211. Now this is actually usually run by United Way. It's a hotline that gives a place for consumers to call to say, hey, what nonprofit organization or even government office could help me with something? And look at the data here. I have a link, and you can go to that link and search the database, which I did. I played around. I love playing around in these things. But you see the categories they have, like basic needs. That's just money for stuff that live in daily. Consumer services, criminal justice, education, environmental quality, health care, income security, family and individual lifestyle, Thrive, I'm not sure what that is, disaster assistance, senior services. It's all there categorized, but you could search by keyword. You see on the right there, you put in keyword, and they show you all the organizations and who to contact that give out that help for free. I did it one where we had this big snowstorm, where to get, I said, well, the people who really need their, like 2-3 feet of snow, whatever the heck it was, to get your snow shovel for free, And it was in that database too, for where I live. It won't be for where you live. So that's important to know. Then what's here, something you have to really go through in detail. 25 ways that you could use Uncle Sam to pay your budget. Now what I did here this is for Texas. So I give you the contact information for all the top programs, 25 of the top programs that are there for you to get extra money to pay bills. This is whether it's utility bills, phone bills, missing money you have there. You'd be surprised. Like we got like $1,500, I think, for my mother-in-law just by going to the state. Hey, is there any missing money? And $1,500. I mean, that's found money. That's terrific. So all these kinds of little bonuses, or how to get $8,000 to train for a new job, or so the best programs, the top 25. Because see, there's hundreds or thousands of programs. So what I try to do, that can help you build some expenses, I give you the top 25 here. Okay, and then I have a video that explains each of these 25. So you could go to those links, just watch the video. You're unsure, they're only a few minutes long, so you want to know more details about it, you know, whether it's getting grocery money or cheap care for seniors or an extra $5,871 for your family from the IRS to boot. And this is like a grant, so there's no requirements. You don't have to pay taxes to get that stuff. So that's all there. Heating bills or fixing up your heating and cooling system, down payment money for a new house if you want. Okay, another thing I have in here is if you're hurting for money quickly. I mean, this is one of the biggest problems I see in our country. You know, so many people in our country now are really strapped for money, and so they'll have an emergency bill that they really need to pay to get on in life. I mean, like you're living close to the bone, and all of a sudden your car has a mechanical problem and you can't get to work. Well, man, and you need $700 to do that. Well, what do you do? Because if you can't go to work, then you don't have money and you get in worse trouble, right? So most people go to the internet and they'll search on the internet, and they're going to get these payday loan people, they're going to get these sharks, they're going to get the mafia, they're going to get, or banks that have no moral values or whatever. See, and what bothers me about all the traditional money sources in this country is that they make you sign some paper, you know, they charge outrageous interest rates, and they have all kind of fees and everything else, and then when you have trouble paying it back, well, and then they just show you the paper you signed and they tell you it's legal. Well, what they're doing is probably immoral. They say it's illegal, so they think they can sleep at night. But most of this stuff, man, is immoral. I mean, you wind up paying 300% on the money and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's dreadful. You know, they get away with it, but you don't have to participate. And that's what I have here is a download. You download this video ebook. So I don't want to clutter up this whole report here. You download this video ebook, and it shows you all the places to turn to get free money. The programs at the state level that offer free money for this kind of stuff. So emergency money, like you can't pay your rent or mortgage or something like that, or what nonprofits are there? These other kind of sources that don't advertise, and most people don't know about them. So it's right there for you to do. Okay, now I want to talk about, these are very important things that are going on in the economy. Our economy is changing. Traditional jobs are shrinking. You know, I mean, the big companies are shrinking in employment, and it's the new businesses that are growing, and they're creating the new jobs in this country. But again, actually, there's different kind of new businesses. Businesses that don't create jobs, but they create income opportunities. It's a way for you to make money without having a job, without having a boss, and doing it on your own time. So this is perfect for people like you who want to start a business, do something else. You don't know if you have all day to work with somebody else, or just an hour, or never, or whatever, because it's that flexible, you know, and it costs you nothing. These aren't employment agencies, or nobody takes money from you up front. All these programs I'm going to show you now cost nothing, and only when you get paid do you give a small percentage to the platform, they call it. This is a website. It's all run on the website. You heard of Uber probably by now. You've heard of Airbnb. Well, look at the data. These are two of the people that kinds of people that I'm talking about. And I show you a graph here, how big of companies Uber and Airbnb has become just in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Okay, they're part of the new economy. Okay, been around for 7 years. And you look at Airbnb is like $25 billion. That's the value of this. And Hyatt Hotels, which has been around for 50 years or something like that, is only worth $10 billion. So look at that, 2.5 times. You know, look at Uber. You know, Uber's worth $50 billion already. And Federal Express is about the same, about $45 billion. Look at, and these companies are just a few years old, so to speak of. But what's interesting, look at the number of people they employ. See, Uber and Airbnb just employ a few thousand people apiece. That's it. But Hyatt employs hundreds of thousands of people. Federal Express employs 300,000 of people. See, the new businesses are not creating jobs. So the wealth in our country, where we're growing, where all the new opportunities are, these companies are not creating jobs. But what they are doing look at the next graph here, how people are making money. Unless you're an investor in FedEx or Hyatt, you're not making any money from them. But look at this. Millions of people are making money from from Uber and Airbnb. Airbnb now has like 2 million people. We're one of them. We have a little apartment in Washington, D.C. we put on Airbnb. And see, what's great about these websites, and so easy for anybody, and particularly like you have a business to run or everything, the website takes care of everything. You don't have to worry about finding customers, because like Airbnb, millions of people are coming to Airbnb websites every day to look for something in the room, and they choose us and we get money, and the Airbnb takes a little percent, and that's it. And we go down and clean the apartment for the next time. But what happens on this kind of crowd sharing thing, the people who use our apartment leave it cleaner than we give it to them. Wow. I mean, it's not like Hyatt Hotel. I mean, I go there and I don't care. Hyatt doesn't care how I leave it either. They just want my money. This is a whole new ballgame. And that's why, even though they have financial problems, fighting the laws in some states, it's eventually going to, I'm sure it's going to run out in a long time. Too many people making money from it. And it's a way to create extra income easily, while you're doing something else, working on that business you want to grow or whatever. See, and it's not only driving a car or, home. Now, there's this organization I found called Peers, PERS.org. This is an organization, so like a nonprofit, but they provide benefit packages for people who, what they call the gig economy, people making money in Uber and things like this. But they have a great website that I wanted to show you here, because it shows you the details of all these platforms. Now, they don't have all the platforms. They're missing a bunch of the big ones that I know already, but there's about 50 or more here. And it's like for home sharing. I mean, look at now, and what's neat, they have data. If you click onto their website, you'll see data like how much the average person is making, what the requirements are, and everything. So it's a nice clearinghouse to get a place, it's an overview. When I look at for this one for homestay, people are making an average of $1,500 a month from that website. Here's another one, $1,700, $5,000 a month. They're making there's $6,000 a month on another one. Oh, I'm missing a zero there. On vacation homes, it's $4,000 a month. I mean, we're making more than that, to tell you the truth. And then here's one for ride sharing. This is like Uber stuff and delivery. All these, look at there's like 20 right there. And look what people are making. They're making $37 an hour. When you don't have a car, see, if some of these like drive like Uber, you have to have a nice car. If you don't have a car, there's a place to rent a Prius, because they know you're making so much money, you're able to pay them back. So if you don't have a nice car, you may want to try it that way. You rent the Prius and pay them, because you're going to get money from the Uber people, and then okay, now it's worth for you buying your own car and investing that, because you're going to make so much money, and you find out for sure. So that's a nice way to test out one of these things, even if you don't have the money. But that's only, so there's food delivery, local restaurants, DoorDash, $20 to deliver stuff just for people in the community. That's $20 an hour people wing. Here to rent your bike, surfboard or snow equipment, $70 a month people are making from something. I talked to a guy, he financed 3 bicycles that he wanted, because when he's not using them, he puts them on this website. I put some other websites in here that are out of business because they're on their service. If you look at their website. Here, $17 an hour for driving people in your community, $20 an hour for driving people in the community, $400 a month for renting the car don't use it. That's true. This is real stuff. You can put $18 an hour for delivering food from restaurants. See, $20 an hour to deliver stuff by a bike or a scooter, or roller skates if you want. That's why it's just this new way of making money easy, and there's no commitment. See, it's not like getting a job. To me, if you were trying to make money part-time, you have to go to the guy delivering, pizza or whatever for the pizza parlor down the street, and he wants you there every day, right? Well, they don't. You just go in there, I have an hour or two today, and just say, I'm available now, and then you get, hey, you want to do this? And you say, no, I don't like that guy, I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want to drive there, I don't want to do it. It makes your life, a lot more convenient. So that's, I mean, there's so many on cars. Look at, there's 20, deliver healthy meals service, rent out your own car, people who help you move your stuff, or packing and shipping packages, $20 an hour. So that's right. Or delivering for Amazon. Now that's not on their website, but I just saw, I called them up the other day. They have a website for Amazon. They're looking for people to deliver their same-day package. So you don't even need a nice car because you're delivering a package on a person, and they pay $18 to $25 an hour on that. So that's pretty cool because then, I mean, again, and it's flexible. See, it's not, I got to do it every day. I don't know. You do it once a week, 1 hour a week, whatever. That's what this is all about, And it's important to know about what's going on. That's why I think this website gives you a good overview of so many places like that. And there's a lot more. I could show you a lot more in Interday too, but this is enough to get you dirty on it. I mean, look at here, for skills and talents, Gore Lily, I can't even know. Make money showing people products. I don't understand that one, but read it, it's fun. There's one for Feastly, that's Eat Feastly. Cook meals in your home for people, handmade, sell handmade goods and crafts on Etsy. That costs you 20 cents to do that. Get tasks done for other people. I mean, people want, oh God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to clean out the garage. Oh man, you can make 20, 30 bucks an hour to clean out the garage. I mean, look at tasks done for other people, up to $48 an hour what they're making. Here, $75 a week to rent your musical instruments when you're not using. Take visitors to your favorite places in town. Wow, make $100 a week on something like that. I mean, that's to perform services at special events. See, these platforms give you easy in and out, not the big job applications and credit checks and all that stuff is eliminated. Money to tutor teaching and tutoring. Tutoring college students, $20 an hour. Money to tutor athletes in a year. Or $45 an hour to teach what you're good at. Or $300 to help people around the world know about your skills. Or how's this? Taking care of people. Make money with babysitting or nanny jobs. It's called Urban Sitter. $240 a month for caring for pets in your home. See, what they have on this website, it shows you the average money that people are making on this thing. $20 an hour for caring for children, seniors, and pets and housekeeping. See, all these things, what's neat about it is that it's business. You could dream, I want to be a pet sitter or something. Where the hell are you going to get business? Now all you have to do is go to that website, you put your name on it, and millions of people are coming to that website, and that's where the money is. And they handle the payments. You don't have to worry about getting paid because they get the credit card of people. You don't have to worry about insurance. They get insurance and all that stuff. Man, it is just the easiest time in the history of mankind to have a little business, a little something on the side, getting money, and you can run it up or run it down as much as you need. Errands and cleaning, $40 an hour to help local people move, make more doing local jobs for people, or being a handyman, cutting lawns. I mean, see, there's platforms that you don't have to go around the neighbors and pester them, putting flyers on the, professional freelancers, $20 an hour, $300 creative skills. You're an accountant, you're a freelancer, you want to write blogs. There's something called Blog Mutt. You like writing, $800 a month to write, on blogs for companies that want looking for something. Okay, now here's another thing too, crowdfunding. You want to know about crowdfunding. This is, I think one of the most important things, sort of like the shared economy. Crowdfunding is so important because it's a way, again, there's no credit checks, you get money to do things or money to pay for problems. I'll cover it later on business, but it's also for healthcare bills people use it for, fixing up their house people use it for, just expenses, emergency money and all kinds of things, anything. You want to take a course, money for that, and there's like almost 1,000 websites already. See, the neatest thing about this, it takes very little time to set up a crowdfunding site. There's no financial statements, there's no credit checks, there's none of this stuff. It takes some work, so you've got to promote your website. I show you the main ones that are here. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, fundraiser.
crowded. There's some of the major ones that are here, and there's also for special interests. I mean, there's something like Feather Your Nest, that's just for housing. You know, Seed and Spark, that's for, you know, you want to make a film. Realty Mogul, you want to invest in real estate. There's something 1,000 just real estates. Publisher, you want to write a book. You know, for artists, this is Patreon. If you're an artist, you go on this website, you know, and you get money every month. You don't even have to deliver a product, you know. And when I interviewed the guy who runs this, and I thought, oh, who's going to take advantage of this? You know, no. Well, he's already giving $1 million a month to artists every month. Crowdfunding, and just another website called Kickstarter, is now giving more money to artists than the National Endowment of the Arts. That's what we set up as a country to help artists. So they're giving even more than that. So that's, I think, the new way. Read the more details. There's lots of stuff here, and I have the 12 reasons why crowdfunding is better than grants here, because you keep the money forever. You get it fast. You know, you do it in 30, 60 days. You know, you can get more money than even you ask for. You know, what banker's going to give you that back? And of course, it's money you don't have to pay back. So these are the new tools on how to live in society, the things that are going to be growing. A lot of people don't know about them. They maybe know a little bit or know the names, but not truly. And this is the growth. Sure, the other stuff, traditional banks are still going to be here and things like that, but they're not going away, but they're shrinking. And this is the new stuff that is growing, you know, and that's where the opportunities are.